Lucio Fulci delivers one of his most stylish and surreal films with A Lizard in a Woman's Skin, a dazzling blend of giallo, psychological horror, erotic thriller and mystery, featuring drugs, sex, shocking imagery and one of the most infamous special effects sequences in cinema history. This 1971 classic blurs the lines between dreams and reality in unforgettable fashion. Set in England, my neck of the woods, and drenched in that wonderfully groovy late 1960s British aesthetic, the film follows Carol Hammond, played by Florinda Bolkan. Carol lives in a luxurious London apartment with her father Edmund, her husband Frank, and Frank's daughter Joan from a previous relationship. Their seemingly idyllic lifestyle is constantly disrupted by their neighbour, Julia, portrayed by Anita Strindberg, who regularly hosts wild, drug-fueled parties that continue into the early hours. As Carol's sleep becomes plagued by increasingly disturbing dreams centred around Julia's decadent lifestyle, the nightmares escalate into vivid fantasies of murder. In one particularly horrifying dream, Carol brutally kills Julia. But when the police later arrive and another resident informs her that Julia has indeed been murdered by 3 stab wounds, the exact manner she witnessed in her dream, Carol begins to question both her sanity and her innocence. From there, the film follows Carol as she encounters a host of increasingly suspicious characters, while struggling to make sense of the terrifying events unfolding around her. Meanwhile, Inspector Corvin, played by Stanley Baker, is determined to solve the case and bring the killer to justice. Packed with twists, red herrings, surreal dream imagery, and plenty of the genre's trademark nudity, the film constantly keeps audiences guessing. Hallucinatory visions of giant swans and disemboweled dogs only heighten the dreamlike atmosphere, culminating in a lengthy and suspenseful case for a deserted complex. As the police close in, one question remains. Is Carol truly responsible for this brutal murder, or is everything simply a product of her fractured mind? A Lizard in a Woman's Skin stands as one of the finest examples of the Giallo genre. Released during the early 1970s, it arrived at a pivotal point in Fulci's career as he was beginning to establish the distinctive style that would define much of his later work. Often regarded as one of his greatest films, it showcases his strength as a filmmaker, an engrossing murder mystery, unpredictable twists, stunning visual style, and an atmosphere that constantly leaves the audiences unsettled. The magnificent score by Ennio Morricone perfectly complements the film's hypnotic visuals, while the groundbreaking special effects by future 3-time Academy Award winner Carlo Rambaldi remain astonishing more than 50 years later. It's an exceptionally crafted film that deserves to be mentioned far more often when discussing Fulci's finest work. Florinda Bolkan is unquestionably the heart of the film, delivering a demanding and emotionally layered performance. Her role requires vulnerability, intensity, sensuality, and psychological instability, all of which she handles effortlessly. Whether portraying the sophisticated daughter of a wealthy politician, or a woman convinced she may be a sadistic killer driven mad by the excesses next door, Bolkan commands every scene she's in. Born on February 15, 1941 in Brazil, Bolkan is fluent in multiple languages and enjoyed an incredibly diverse career. Although she appeared in productions across several countries, she became most closely associated with Italian cinema, where she established herself as one of the most recognisable leading ladies. Bringing elegance and natural charisma to every performance, she remains a captivating screen presence. Away from acting, she also lived an extraordinary life, having an apartment in New York and even being linked romantically with John F. Kennedy. Whether fact or rumour, it only adds to the aura surrounding someone who truly embodied old school movie stardom. Stanley Baker, born on February 28, 1928 in Wales, emerged as one of Britain's finest actors during the 1950s. By the following decade, he had cemented his reputation with standout performances in classics such as The Guns of Navarone and Zulu. Remarkably, Baker was even offered the role of James Bond in 1962, but declined. He would then go on to turn down a lot of roles from the States, instead to focus supporting the British film industry rather than pursuing Hollywood fame. Despite being one of the UK's most accomplished actors, he remains somewhat underappreciated today. Sadly, Baker passed away in 1976 following a battle with illness, only a few years after A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. His death robbed British cinema of a truly exceptional talent, and it's hard not to wonder what remarkable performances he might have delivered if he had lived longer. No discussion of the film would be complete without mentioning his most infamous sequence, the split dog scene. Carol enters a room. It looks to be a laboratory where dogs have apparently been surgically opened while remaining alive through elaborate medical equipment. Their organs continue functioning as blood flows freely while they twitch and howl in agony. It's an extraordinary, disturbing scene, made even more shocking by the astonishing realism of Rambaldi's effects. The sequence proved so convincing that authorities believed real animal cruelty had taken place. Fulci was forced to defend himself against legal action, with Carlo Rambaldi ultimately bringing the mechanical dog props into court to demonstrate that the sequence was achieved entirely through special effects. It marked the first known occasion in film history where special effects eyes had to present their work as legal evidence to prove that no animals had actually been harmed during the production. Watching the film today, it's easy to understand why audiences were convinced. The effects remain remarkably convincing, and it's no surprise Rambaldi would go on to win 3 Academy Awards and create unforgettable work in films such as E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Trivia time. This film is an Italian, French and Spanish co-production, despite being filmed in England. It was released in the United States in 1972 under the alternative title Schizoid. Legendary filmmaker Mario Bava was reportedly a great admirer of the film. Ultimately, A Lizard in a Woman's Skin remains one of the defining works of the Giallo genre and an essential chapter in Lucio Fulci's early career. Stylish, atmospheric, unsettling, and endlessly intriguing, it demonstrates that Fulci is far more than simply a master of gore. It's a brilliantly crafted psychological thriller that deserves far more recognition and stands as yet another reminder of just how gifted a filmmaker Lucio Fulci truly was. Hello everyone, welcome back to the physical media portion of the video. This time looking at the Blu-ray release of A Lizard in a Woman's Skin, released by Mondo Macabro, who are quite well known for releasing these foreign little oddities throughout the years. I mean, they have done another Fulci title as well, which was Perversion Story, aka One on Top of the Other. But also just little gems, like one of my favourites is Who Could Kill a Child. I mean, absolutely love that film, and that's a great release as well from them, a very overlooked gem from the 70s, so highly recommend that. But I don't have many Mondo titles, sadly, but everything that I've seen, I mean, you know, you kind of know what you're getting into when you pick up a Mondo film. They've just released a huge amount of just obscure, rare horror, exploitation, everything really. A lot of Paul Naschy films, I believe. So yeah, if you're a fan of this and you're a fan of some of the other titles I've mentioned, definitely seek out Mondo Macabro. But anyway, this is the Blu-ray release. Striking cover art, original poster image, or one of them, as there is many posters for this film. But yeah, really like it. Very, very striking, like I said. Florinda Bolkan on the front, a lizard as well, kind of morphing into her. Yeah, it's just a great cover image. We got a quote at the top saying Lucio Fulci's masterpiece, Alan Jones Fright Fest. Alan Jones worked a lot with Argento during the time that Argento was making some of his later films as well. But again, he's a well-known British critic. So yeah, nice quote there. This is the back of the release. We've got a nice little write-up about the film. We've got all the specs, running time, aspect ratio, saying that it's Italy, Spanish and French co-production, year, starring, so quite in-depth. We've got a special features list, which includes brand new HD transfer from film negative, Shed in the Skin documentary, director Lucio Fulci Day for Night, directed by Antonella Di Lillo. Interview with writer Stephen Thrower. Interview with actor Tony Adams. Audio commentary with Chris Gavin. Original trailers and radio spots. Italian, English language, subtitle choices, Mondo Macabro previews, and more. So quite a stacked release. Again, it's great to see Stephen Thrower in these releases. This, I don't think it states anywhere on the back, but this is, to my knowledge, region 3. I mean, I played it on a region B player and it worked perfect. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, just like I said, a few nice still images on the back. Mondo's kind of motto at the top, the wild side of world cinema, which again, I briefly said that in the opening. You know, they release a lot of wacky, strange movies, but yeah, just a great label to have, putting in a lot of effort for these really obscure hidden gems. So really appreciate the work they do. So this is the inside. No insert or anything like that, or alternative cover art. Disc again, quite basic but effective, and it does state region A, B, and C. So, you know, that's again, you know, a big positive. It says 2015 on the disc, so, you know, over a decade old, this release, and to my knowledge, A Lizard in Woman's Skin hasn't been re-released since, by any notable, you know, British or American label. So if you are after this film, this is probably the way to go. I do believe that, I know Mondo kind of do like a limited run in red cases, and they come with a booklet and some inserts. I don't know if this title got that. It probably did, to be honest, because like I said, I have seen them floating around for a lot of the other films that I've already mentioned. But yeah, that's way out of print, very expensive. So, you know, if you can find that, great. But just this kind of standard budget release is, you know, perfect as well. So highly recommend picking it up. And for my opinion on the film, I mean, yeah, really enjoyed it. I've seen lots of, you know, clips and, you know, information about the film leading up, but again, like many of the films on this journey, this was a first time watch, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Solid Giallo from, you know, the early 70s. I mean, there was some great sequences that really stood out to me. There was a wild sequence of this big kind of puppet swan casting a huge shadow over Bolkan's character running, you know, in one of these kind of like dreamlike states. That was quite visually interesting. There was some nice kind of Brian De Palma split screen kind of sequences in the movie as well. Again, just visually appealing. I mean, Fulci is a master of his craft, and even dating these earlier kind of exploitation horror type films, I mean, it just showcases the talent that he had behind the camera. Yeah, just the colors popped. Everyone in the film, you know, has got that great look to them. Everyone's, you know, doing a solid job performance wise, and having the likes of Florinda, Bolkan, and Stanley Baker, you know, it definitely boosts the film's credibility. And I mean, the score by Ennio Morricone is stunning. I mean, is there a bad Morricone score? I don't believe there is, but that really heightened everything. The effects work by Carlo Rambaldi. Again, talking about standout sequences, obviously the split dog scene is, you know, stood the test of time. I mean, considering just how much hot water that got Fulci in during the time, when I watched it, I was like, wow, yeah, you know, I can really see why people might believe this. As crazy as it sounds, it's just, I don't believe audience members saw anything like that at the time. And it's just a flawless, you know, representation of great special effects, great practical special effects. So yeah, absolutely love seeing that. And yeah, just overall, just a nice little kind of murder mystery. Did she do it? Did she not? You know, just going through the motions, and yeah, had a lot of fun with it. You know, I quite like giallos anyway. More so in the kind of later 70s, early 80s period. But for an early example, yeah, he absolutely nailed it with this. So I can't recommend it enough. For the release as well, just go pick it up. It's stunning. And that's it for A Lizard in a Woman's Skin. And that closes out the review. So hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week with another Fulci classic. So stay tuned and take care.